This is a recast of the 4,700-word piece Fairness and Bias in AI from Shinpat AI. This article discusses the importance of fairness and bias in AI development to create equitable and ethical systems. Let's listen in.
The article talks about how artificial intelligence has the potential to transform our daily lives, but with such great power comes great responsibility. It's important that AI development prioritizes ethical considerations to avoid perpetuating existing biases and unfairness in society.
Absolutely, and one of the areas where this issue is particularly pronounced is in the criminal justice system. AI-powered criminal justice systems have exhibited racial or gender bias in their decision-making processes, which can have life-altering consequences. For example, a study found that a popular algorithm used to determine whether a criminal defendant was likely to reoffend was twice as likely to label black defendants as high risk compared to white defendants.
Yes, this raises serious questions about the potential perpetuation of systemic biases within AI systems. One possible solution to mitigate such bias is to ensure that diverse perspectives are represented in the development and testing of these systems. Additionally, the transparency and accountability of AI systems must be increased so that they can be subject to ongoing scrutiny and evaluation to ensure that they are not unfairly impacting certain populations.
That's right. The article also discusses the concept of fairness in AI, which is complex and evolving. At its core, fairness in AI means ensuring that the algorithms and data used to train machine learning models do not unfairly discriminate against individuals or groups based on factors such as race, gender, or socioeconomic status.
However, achieving this goal is not always straightforward. Fairness in AI must be measured and defined, taking into account the various ways in which bias can enter into the development and use of these systems. Additionally, the fairness of AI can be impacted by the limitations of the data used to train models, including a lack of diversity and representativeness.
And as AI becomes more ubiquitous in our lives, it will be increasingly important to ensure that these systems are designed and deployed in a manner that promotes fairness and avoids unjust discrimination. This will require a commitment to ongoing research, development, and collaboration across disciplines to ensure that AI systems are developed and used in an ethical and responsible manner.
Absolutely. The importance of fairness and bias in AI cannot be overstated. The potential of AI to transform our lives is extraordinary, but this potential can only be realized if we ensure that these systems are designed and deployed in a fair and unbiased manner.
And that requires collaboration across disciplines and stakeholders, including scientists, policymakers, civil society groups, and affected communities. By prioritizing fairness and bias in AI, we can harness the potential of this technology to create a better and more just world for everyone.
Right. So first let's discuss what fairness in AI means. Fairness in AI is essentially the equitable treatment of all individuals, regardless of their race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or any other personal characteristics. It seeks to ensure that everyone is treated equitably and that existing socio-economic disparities are not perpetuated or exacerbated.
Yes, and there are two types of fairness commonly discussed in the context of AI group fairness and individual fairness. Group fairness refers to the equitable treatment of different groups within a population, such as racial or gender groups. This approach aims to ensure that decisions made by AI systems do not disproportionately benefit or harm any particular group.
Right. That's the idea of equal opportunity. On the other hand, individual fairness focuses on the equitable treatment of individuals without regard to their membership in any particular group. This approach takes into account individual differences and strives to avoid discrimination against specific individuals or groups.
Exactly. It's important to note that there may be trade-offs between these two types of fairness, for example, between individual fairness and predictive accuracy. So it's important for researchers, developers, and policymakers to take an interdisciplinary approach when considering how to balance these trade-offs.
That makes sense. So what are some examples of how fairness and bias can be addressed in AI?
Well, one example is blind recruitment software, which removes personally identifying information from resumes and job applications such as names, addresses, and photos. This can help to reduce unconscious bias during the hiring process. Additionally, algorithms can be trained on diverse datasets to reduce bias against certain demographics, such as images of people with varying skin tones and facial features.
That's great. It's also important to consider the broader context in which AI systems are developed and used. AI systems reflect the values and biases of their creators and the wider social and political environment within which they are utilized.
Yes, and this can have significant implications for society if these biases are not identified and addressed. AI systems have the potential to exacerbate existing inequalities by targeting certain groups unfairly or leaving them out of opportunities. They can also lead to decisions being made that do not conform with ethical guidelines established by society at large.
That's a really important point to consider. Ultimately, it is essential that those who develop and utilize AI systems are aware of these potential consequences and actively work to create fair and inclusive systems that promote equity for all individuals.
Absolutely. The potential of AI is immense, but only if we prioritize fairness and bias in the development and deployment of these technologies.
So let's start by talking about the different types of bias that can occur in AI.
Sure. One type is selection bias, which occurs when the data set used to train the AI is not representative of the real world. For example, if a facial recognition AI is trained on a data set that consists mostly of individuals of one race or ethnicity, it may not perform well on individuals from other ethnic backgrounds.
Right. To prevent this type of bias, it is important to ensure that datasets are diverse and inclusive of all different types of individuals, and to continually monitor and test the AI for accuracy and bias, adjusting the training data as needed.
Exactly. But bias can also occur at other points in the AI development process. For instance, human interventions in the development process can produce unintentional biases that lead to unfair decisions being taken by AI.
That's right. And there are already examples of this happening in the real world. Amazon faced a lot of criticism when their Resume screening tool was found to be discriminating against female candidates. Likewise, there have been cases where healthcare systems have treated individuals unfairly due to underrepresentation in the dataset.
It's true. These examples are a stark reminder of why it is crucial to identify and address bias at all points in the AI pipeline.
And it's not just about data. Another factor that contributes to fairness in AI is the diversity of the development team. This includes not only diversity in terms of race or gender, but also in skill sets and backgrounds. Companies need to proactively seek out diverse candidates and incorporate diversity training and education into their AI development process to ensure fairness and justice for all.
Exactly. There is a need for ethical guidelines and regulatory frameworks that take into account the potential societal impacts of AI systems, and these must involve stakeholders from both the technical and social communities to ensure fairness and justice for all.
It's clear that legal regulation is essential if we are to ensure that AI is used in an ethical and responsible manner. Regulation should focus on creating legal frameworks for AI, requiring transparency in the development and deployment of algorithms, and ensuring that AI does not perpetuate biases or discrimination.
Right? For example, the European Union has implemented the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, which provides guidelines for how personal data is collected, processed, and protected. The U.S. has also enacted the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, to develop standards and guidelines for AI.
Ultimately, legal regulation of AI is crucial to ensure that these technologies are developed and used in an ethical and responsible way that is beneficial for both individuals and society as a whole. It's important to note, however, that regulations are not enough to ensure fairness and justice in AI.
That's true. We must also promote diversity within the AI development community to help combat systemic biases that exist within the technology itself. This means investing in education and training to create opportunities for diverse groups to enter the field of AI development. Companies need to actively seek out diverse candidates to ensure fairness and justice for all.
It's also important to be aware of the limitations of AI systems and the potential biases that may be present in their data or algorithms. To minimize these risks, developers must consider the ethical implications of their systems and strive towards creating AI systems that are reflective of the diverse needs and experiences of all individuals.
That's right. We need to use AI to promote sustainability, address climate change, improve healthcare access, and enhance public safety. Moving forward, it's essential that we strive towards creating AI systems that are fair, unbiased, and reflective of the diverse needs and experiences of all individuals.
Absolutely. The article highlights the importance of regulating AI and ensuring a robust regulatory framework that fosters innovation, while also promoting ethical and responsible AI practices.
Right. This means developing standards and guidelines for training, deploying, and testing AI systems. It also means setting measures that protect individuals from potential harms caused by its misuse and providing channels to appeal and challenge decisions made by AI systems.
Additionally, it's essential to ensure the data sets used to train AI algorithms are both comprehensive and unbiased. This is an ongoing effort that requires researchers to continually identify and correct biases in existing datasets, as well as an increased focus on collecting and incorporating a wide range of data sources.
Exactly. The challenges in tackling issues of fairness and bias in AI are complex and require careful consideration. But if we take a collective effort, we can create a framework that ensures the responsible use of AI systems in a way that benefits everyone in society.